Thank you for joining us on Studio G. My name is Kylie Pierce.
And I'm Jalen De Los Reyes. Let's get started. Last Tuesday was Grad Fest here on campus. Spring graduates lined up to collect their cap and gowns, diploma frames, and more. They also contributed to an alumni donation on photo ops. Grad Fest was a huge success. Lines were out of the door at the Richard Tam Center Alumni Center. Rebels are set to take the stage for graduation on May 17th. Congrats to all of our 2025 grads. UNLV Students Run Music Festival is back and right around the corner. Rep Fest is set to take place the week after spring break. This semester, they have student artists showcasing their talent, with both original and cover songs to complete for up to $1,000 in cash prizes. In between, there are plenty of games, vendors, and snacks to have a good time. Support students and get free stuff. Thursday, the 27th from 4 to 9 p.m., Rep Fest will be held in the Student Union second floor ballrooms for all to enjoy.
And if you're itching for some live music, UNLV has an event that is actually taking place later today. The Rebel Events Board is holding an open mic night tonight, March 13th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the PETA Plaza. There will be a chocolate fountain, cotton candy, snow cones, and 2 giveaway prizes. Come show off your talents or cheer others on. Now let's take it over to reporter Lindsay Fjellstead to hear about UNLV's Student Challenge that involves the Sphere Las Vegas.
The architecture students here at UNLV are participating in a contest for the Las Vegas Sphere. It is the Student Design Challenge, and they are designing artwork that will potentially be displayed on the Sphere on Earth Day. There are 4 student categories starting at elementary to middle school, high school, and college. UNLV architecture student Kelly Strobeck shares about her experience designing.
We designed with a VR headset, so we used everything with controllers, and that became difficult, but it also allowed for more creativity in the design. So I went with something simpler but more abstract. So I designed a sunset and was able to play with that software to my benefit.
You can vote now through March 24th on their website. If you have a favorite, you can vote once every single day. There will be 8 winners, and each of them will get $10,000. And their artwork will be displayed on the Sphere on Earth Day, April 22nd. Architecture student Daniel Nikoloff shares his experience with the design process.
I thought it was pretty fun designing for the Sphere. It was kind of a challenge getting used to the designing in a VR headset. I've never done that obviously before, but I would say other than my eyes hurting a little bit, it was pretty fun overall. I spent a decent amount of time deciding what I should do for Earth Day, and I eventually chose a cactus, so I thought it was fitting for Earth Day in Nevada. Remember to vote for my cactus.
You can visit their Instagram at Sphere Vegas for updates and to see who the winners will be.
That sounds really cool. I'm excited to see the student artwork on display.
The Lady Rebels just finished up the Mountain West Conference earlier this week, where their path to a four-peat has ended. Here's Zoe Salas with the details. Zoe?
Rebels, as they finished here in the semifinals, 59 against the Aztecs. It was a tough game for the Lady Rebs with lots of pressure as they were aiming for that four-peat Mountain West title. Started strong with a 10-9 lead at the end of the first quarter. However, San Diego State shifted momentum by closing the second quarter with a 15-3 run, taking a 33-20 halftime lead. Despite the outcome, Coach Lindy LaRocque stated this isn't the end just yet for UNLV.
We didn't get it done. Doesn't mean we didn't have a great season. Doesn't mean we're not going to play. We are playing. We are playing in postseason. I couldn't tell you what tournament, but we are playing.
Now, even though the Aztecs beat the Lady Rebs in the semifinals, they too believe they deserve a shot in the NCAA tournament.
Lindy Cindy's done everything she can. She has strengthened their schedule. They've gone out and they've played some really tough teams. They've beat some good teams. They've dominated this league. So I think they deserve to be in the NCAA.
I think at this point, we've been there 3 times. We also deserve the benefit of the doubt, frankly. We've established some credibility that we should be able to rely on in this situation. But I think we deserve it, plain and simple.
According to ESPN, UNLV is not slated to make the tournament. However, they are mentioned to have a slightly higher possibility to get a bid than others. That's all I have for you for the Lady Rebels. I'm Zoe Salas from the Thomas and Mack for Studio G.
While our women's team fell to the Aztecs, the Running Rebels secured a victory against Air Force, moving forward in their Mountain West tournament. Here is reporter Blake Addison with the recap.
Mountain West tournament action down at the Thomas and Mack Center featuring the home team UNLV Running Rebels versus the Air Force Falcons for a shot at an NCAA bid. Rebels early on finding trouble for an easy bucket with the Falcons' defensive stop that leads to a possession on the other side of the court with a 3-point make from Air Force Wesley Shazowski. Rebels find themselves down 21-14 in the first half. Rebels had a hard time holding on to the ball as the ball is poked out for a jump ball in possession of the Air Force. Air Force retains the possession and big man Shazowski passes the ball to Ethan Taylor for the 3-point tray. Rebels going to halftime trailing 25-21. Second half action starts and UNLV Jalen Hill spins the block with a jam that puts the Rebels up by 2 points. Air Force continues to struggle with a blocking call in favor of the Rebels. Big man Jeremy Cherry gets fouled and knocks down 2 free throws to seal the deal victoriously. Rebels advance with a 68-59 win and will host Utah State in tomorrow's action at 8:30.
We also have some NFL news this week, kicking it off with some trades. Here is with more.
Big news when it comes to the sports world here in Las Vegas, more specifically the Raiders. Seahawks Geno Smith is coming to Las Vegas as the new starting quarterback, with Commander safety Jeremy Chin as well. Smith comes in from Seattle with a $14.8 million base salary and is a step up for the Raiders regarding quarterbacks. Defensive end Max Crosby is getting a new teammate in Malcolm Kuntz, coming in from the Panthers. A new defensive player was signed on Tuesday, Eric Stokes coming in from Green Bay. More updates to come later today during Rebel Report.
Thanks for that update, but breaking news regarding trades. This morning, the Raiders signed Miami Dolphins running back Raheem Mostert for a 1-year deal. More details soon to come.
NASCAR is coming to Vegas this year. Here's Blake with the scoop.
This weekend, the 2025 Pennzoil 400 NASCAR Cup Series race will be held on March 16, 2025 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in North Las Vegas. Ticket prices are selling fast on what is expected to be a sold-out event this Sunday. For more information, you can visit Las Vegas Motor Speedway for parking and entry times.
Fans can still get their tickets online, but they're going fast. Make sure you grab them in time to enjoy the race.
That was just a snippet of the sports news happening both on and off campus. For more sports news, make sure to tune into Rebel Report live at 1:30 p.m. on Rebel Report's UNLV YouTube channel. It's raining March Madness. Next week, we have Fatima Mazaret live with the weather.
Fatima here, and for our current weather temperature, it looks like we are at 54 degrees, cloudy, raining outside. Make sure not to forget your umbrellas. All right, and then coming up next, I'll show you our 7-day weather forecast. I'll send it back over to the desk.
Next, the Trump administration's continued ban on DEI policies, a list of actions already being put into place.
Plus, if you are an avid user of Southwest Airlines, you may want to hear the new update regarding their bag policy. All that and more coming up next.
Every year, thousands of people are hospitalized by the flu, a virus that is easily preventable through vaccination. The virus transmits through any close contact, so getting your shot is the first step in stopping the spread. The more people that get the vaccine, the less likely it becomes for you to contract and infect others with the virus. With flu season in full effect, there is never a better time than now to get your flu shot. Talk to your local doctor, pharmacy, or visit the CDC website at www.cdc.gov for more information. Do your part to stop the spread of the flu and schedule your flu vaccination today.
Every 7 minutes, a pedestrian is killed or injured due to impatient and reckless driving and careless walking. For everyone's safety, don't be reckless. Watch the road.
In today's world, getting to know your neighbors isn't just about being friendly, it's about keeping your community safe. Building strong connections with those around you creates an extra layer of security. Neighbors who know each other can help prevent intruders by noticing when something seems off. And when natural disasters strike or emergencies arise, those same connections can make all the difference. Getting to know your neighbors isn't just about community, it's about safety and support. Take some time today to get to know your neighbors. You never know when you might need each other.
Welcome back to Studio D. Let's jump right into national news. Starting off with the news that broke earlier this week, massive layoffs at the Department of Education are raising concerns and fear amongst many in the U.S., especially the large population of students and teachers. The department began cutting 1,300 jobs, including half of the staff in the Office for Civil Rights and more than 100 in the Institute of Education Sciences. Former officials and experts warned that this will slow federal investigations into civil rights violations in schools, including cases involving students with disabilities. The Trump administration defends the layoffs, claiming they're necessary to eliminate inefficiency. However, Democrats are pushing back, with the governors vowing to challenge the cuts in court, arguing they'll leave states struggling to support the vulnerable students. More than 300 employees were also laid off from the Federal Student Aid Office, increasing fears about delays in student loans and Pell Grants. As the department continues to shrink, fear of the unknown continues to grow for students and staff alike.
We're taking a closer look at the DEI policy and the BLM Plaza removal. How are they affecting the U.S.? The Trump administration has taken action to eliminate harmful diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, also known as DEI, on January 20th. This removal is now implementing throughout the U.S. and is causing an effect in our everyday stores such as Target, Tractor Supply, and Amazon. While the three retailers ended the DEI programs on paper, they have told advocacy groups that they will continue to have internal support for underrepresented employees. As this removal continues to be in effect, the Enola Gay aircraft that dropped an atomic bomb on Japan and the first women to pass Marine infantry training are among the tens of thousands of photos and online posts that are marked for deletion because of its DEI content. In some cases, photos are flagged for removal simply because their file included the word gay, including service members with that last name. Many of the images listed in their database already have been removed and others were still visible. However, it's not clear if they will be taken down or be allowed to stay. The DEI policy isn't the only thing that is being removed. City crews have begun removing the Black Lives Matter street mural in D.C. due to the proposed bill from Representative Andrew Clyde. The bill proposed to paint over the mural and rename it the Liberty Plaza, or the city will lose federal funds. The removal is expected to take 6 to 8 weeks, costing around $610,000. The news about our government doesn't end here.
Possible government shutdown looms as March 14th funding deadline approaches. The House of Representatives passed a continuing resolution Tuesday proposed by House Republicans, which would extend funding through the end of September. The CR includes a $6 billion increase in the defense spending and a $13 billion decrease in non-defense spending compared to the 2024 fiscal year. President Trump and Vice President Vance spoke to the House GOP to support the bill, winning the House vote with one dissenting Republican. The CR is now in the hands of the Senate, whose votes remain uncertain. Republicans have a 53-seat majority in the Senate, but it will require 60 votes for the bill to pass. Republican Senator Rand Paul has said he already will vote no on the bill, requiring 8 Democrats to vote in favor of the CR to gain Senate approval. Senate Democrats met yesterday to discuss their course of action, wanting to avoid a government shutdown but opposing the CR. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer said that funding the government should be a bipartisan effort, but the CR was drafted without any Democratic input. Due to this, the Senate Democrats are united in opposing the bill in support of another.
Republicans do not have the votes in the Senate to invoke cloture on the House CR. Our caucus is unified on a clean April 11th CR that will keep the government open and give Congress time to negotiate bipartisan legislation that can pass. We should vote on that. I hope our Republican colleagues will join us to avoid a shutdown on Friday.
The Senate has yet to vote, but Congress hopes to avoid a government shutdown, which would force federal agencies to cease projects and other federal employees to continue working without pay.
A major change is coming for travelers across the United States. After multiple delays that has been going on for decades, the federal enforcement of Real ID is set to take effect soon, and millions of Americans will need to make sure their identification meets the new requirements. Our reporter Jonathan has more on what you need to know.
Beginning May 7, 2025, travelers will need a Real ID compliant driver's license or another approved foreign identification to board domestic flights and enter certain federal facilities. It's part of a security measure passed by Congress in 2005 following the 9/11 attacks, aiming to standardize ID requirements across all states. But it still leaves many Americans confused of what is the real benefit of having a Real ID.
I got my license a few years ago, and I was already given the Real ID, and as of right now, I haven't had any issues with it, but I also don't see many benefits with it as well.
But despite nearly 2 decades of preparation, federal officials are concerned about how many Americans still don't have a Real ID. As of early of March 2025, the Department of Homeland Security estimated that only 61% of driver license and IDs will be Real ID compliant, with enforcement of the deadline for Real IDs for air travel set for May 7, 2025, causing many Americans to scramble to get their Real IDs.
I think the Real ID is pretty unnecessary and silly just because I only have my license, and because it's not a Real ID, I am unable to travel by airplane starting May 7th, I believe, and I had to go back to California to a DMV and get my Real ID.
To get a Real ID, you will need to visit your local DMV with specific documents. You must present all of the following: proof of identity, such as a birth certificate or passport, and if you have changed your name, proof of all name changes, and proof of social security number. You only need to present one document for this, and proof of your Nevada or current residential address. You will have to provide 2 documents of proof.
For those who travel frequently, now is your time to check on your ID status to avoid any last-minute issues at the airport. To see if you have a Real ID, check your Nevada driver's license or ID card. If you have a gold star in the upper right-hand corner, you do. For more information on how to apply, visit getrealnevada.com. Reporting from UNLV, I'm Jonathan from Studio G.
Thank you, Jonathan. Again, the deadline for Real ID enforcement is May 7th, 2025. If you haven't updated your ID yet, now is the time to do so. The stock market as a whole has been seeing heavy losses following President Trump's economic policy decisions. We go to reporter Evan Carroll with the story.
President Trump's tariffs have stumped investors and citizens alike, many of which fearing of a financial downturn after a $4 trillion loss in the stock market since its all-time high just 21 days ago. On March 9th, Trump declined on whether or not the United States would face a recession on Fox News Sunday morning futures.
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big. We're bringing wealth back to America. And there are always periods of, it takes a little time. It takes a little time. But I think it should be great for us. I mean, I think it should be great.
Some investors understand the trade tensions with China, but Canada, Mexico, and Europe continue to confound many. The United States gets a good number of its imports from these countries, like oil, cars, fruits and vegetables, and many other things not produced domestically. Among the uncertainty surrounding political tensions, the looming idea of a trade war, and an already high feeling of economic stress, the threat of a recession has felt in years. The current administration is, quote, still trying to figure out how to define a win politically, economically, and what is the right time frame, an analyst told Reuters. And until they do that, it's going to be like this every week.
There is still much uncertainty surrounding the state of the country's economics. Only time will tell from here.
If you're planning a trip soon, you may want to reconsider flying on Southwest Airlines if you have plans to check in luggage. The popular airline, famously known for its 2 free check-in bags per passenger, will be ending the practice. Flights booked starting on May 28th of this year will be impacted by the new policy. Details of the new policy's fees have not yet been outlined or released. Passengers who have either booked a business class ticket or are part of higher tiers on the rewards loyalty program will still be entitled to free check-in bags. Thankfully for everyone flying for spring break, you won't have to worry about the bag policy now, but keep this in mind when you make your summer break plans.
It's honestly been beautiful these past few days here in Las Vegas, but we definitely got a bit of rain this morning. Let's take a quick look at today's forecast with Fatima. What's it looking like today?
All right, welcome back. For our valley temperatures, it looks like Henderson, Boulder City, and North Las Vegas are all at 54 degrees, as well as Las Vegas. For Summerlin, it looks like they are going to be at the lowest 47 degrees, with Enterprise being at 54, Athens being at 50, and Sunrise being the highest at 57. For our current on-campus temperature, it looks like we are at 54 degrees, rainy outside. Pretty sad, especially because we're going into spring break. Let's hope that it kind of warms up throughout the rest of the week. For the sunset time, it looks like the sun is going to be setting at 6:47, an hour later due to daylight savings time, which is pretty fun. It gives us an hour longer to enjoy our day. For the 7-day forecast, it looks like Thursday, today we are at 58 degrees with rain, and then throughout that it's going to be kind of cooling down all the way until Saturday at 65 degrees, and then Sunday it kind of picks back up again and comes all the way up to 74 degrees on Monday, and then kind of cools down again for Tuesday and Wednesday at 61 and 62 degrees. You can't really expect much due to us living in a desert, so the nights are going to be pretty chilly, but I'll take it. It's better than 20 degrees, especially going into the spring, kind of warming up a little bit here after the winter. All right, and then that'll be it for our weather forecast. Thank you so much. Now go ahead and send it back over to the desk.
Thank you for that, Fatima.
We'll be right back after the break.
Drug driving is more than just a fine. It's lives lost, someone's family member gone, and futures ruined. One choice can lead to a lifetime of regret. Are you willing to pay that price and ruin someone's life? If you drink, find a safe way home. Look out for others, because no amount of fun is worth losing a life.
In today's world, getting to know your neighbors isn't just about being friendly, it's about keeping your community safe. Building strong connections with those around you creates an extra layer of security. Neighbors who know each other can help prevent intruders by noticing when something seems off. And when natural disasters strike or emergencies arise, those same connections can make all the difference. Getting to know your neighbors isn't just about community, it's about safety and support. Take some time today to get to know your neighbors. You never know when you might need each other.
The world is predicted to generate at least 220 million tons of plastic waste in the year of 2024. 70 million tons are predicted to end up in our environment. It's not hard to do. Recycle.
Welcome back to Studio G.
The boring news are over. Let's get into the fun stuff. UNLV is home to a variety of students from different backgrounds, cultures, and religion. This month, Muslim students at UNLV are observing Ramadan, and one student organization is setting up events and meetings for the month. Here's reporter Emma Rosenstein with more.
As the holy month of Ramadan continues, communities around the world come together to reflect, fast, and break fast with family and friends. I had the privilege of joining the Muslim Student Association here at UNLV for their iftar, the meal that marks the end of the day's fast, to learn more about how they celebrate, connect, and reflect during this special month.
Fasting shows sincerity. In the moment that we eat and drink, all of that struggle that we were going through the whole day is now satisfied within a moment of seconds. This shows how easy the pleasures in this world come and go. Within a moment of seconds, your hunger and your thirst is now satisfied.
That was Talib Hakim, president of the Muslim Student Association here at UNLV. Ramadan, the 9th holy month of the Islamic calendar, is a time for Muslims to build a closer relationship to God, or as they know it as Allah. However, it is not only about abstaining from food or water, it's about deepening one's faith, reinforcing intentions, and engaging in community with one another. The fasting also serves as a reminder of the many blessings we often take for granted in daily life.
Today it is iftar for us, and we're opening our fast together at the MSA and one of the rooms here at the university. It's really important for us to realize what we really need for ourselves and for us to submit ourselves wholly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be able to live life with our fullest intention and practicing our faith in the manner that we have been taught to, using the Quran and Hadith.
This year's Ramadan is especially important as conflicts in the Middle East continue to affect those in countries who are predominantly Muslim, including Palestine, Syria, and Sudan, among others. Students in MSA are reminded to keep those who are experiencing famine and war in their prayers, as well as those in their own community. The prayers and reflections shared during Ramadan not only connect people to God, but also to the global ummah, or community of believers. These prayers reach far and wide, extending to those who are suffering and facing adversity.
I pray that Allah accepts our intentions and our efforts this Ramadan, and may Allah alleviate the pain and suffering that our ummah is going through. May Allah remind us that we are one ummah and that we should be helping one another. And may Allah forgive me if I said anything wrong, and anything good is from Allah and anything bad is from shaitan.
As Ramadan continues, MSA has one more iftar planned for after spring break. If you're looking to get involved with MSA or are interested in learning about their religion through upcoming events, you can follow them on Instagram at UNLV-MSA. I wish a very blessed Ramadan for all who partake, and with that, I send it back to you guys at the desk.
We want to remind you about a valuable resource available right here on campus, the UNLV Food Pantry. The UNLV Food Pantry is a year-round resource that provides both perishable and non-perishable food items to students, staff, and faculty who need additional support. The pantry is open Monday through Thursday from noon to 4 p.m. and Friday 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The food pantry is located on the west side of the Thomas and Mack at the corner of Swenson Street and Naples Drive.
Drake had his fun in the sun last week, topping the charts with his newly released album With the Party Next Door, but his rap rival Kendrick Lamar is back on top. GNX has once again topped the album charts with Lamar's song Luther featuring SZA also topping the charts as the #1 song on the Billboard, the Top 100 in the U.S. Other artists at the top included Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars with their hit Die With a Smile, and Bruno Mars and Blackpink rose with their hit Apartment. Take McRae is also slowly coming up as her album So Close to What lands at #3 right below Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Also, The Weeknd just announced two tour dates for Las Vegas for his highly anticipated After Hours Till Dawn summer tour. He will be stopping in Sin City on July 4th and 5th. Spend your 4th of July weekend with The Weeknd. Tickets go on sale tomorrow on Ticketmaster at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Set your alarms and don't miss out on the fun.
Speaking of fun times, St. Patrick's Day is on Monday the 17th. A lot of people are starting their celebrations early. Here's our reporter Zoe Salas give you the rundown of the go-to spots for the Irish holiday.
Thank you so much for that, guys. Yes, it is St. Patrick's Day this upcoming Monday, and there is plenty of festive fun happening all over Vegas for all to enjoy. Starting off with some family fun, there's the 57th annual St. Patrick's Day Festival and Parade in Henderson with nonstop entertainment and carnival rides. This event starts Friday and goes on Sunday the 16th. We also have many Parkway Taverns locations that will be kicking off late Friday, going all the way through Monday with live music, nightly DJs, drinks, partying, and more. Celtic Phase returns to New York Casino on Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. with an annual Irish extravaganza that features a bagpipe parade, live music, and more Irish charm. Last but not least, Fremont Street Experience has its 3-day-long party starting Saturday through Monday. The bash will have a multitude of Irish and Celtic bands, silent discos, nightly DJs, and plenty of food and drinks. I know I love this holiday. I'm ready. I have my green on. How about you guys?
I'm super excited for St. Patrick's Day and the spring holidays coming up.
The only thing I'm excited about is spring break next week.
Thank you for joining us today on our second show for Studio G.
See you back after spring break.